The Clashing Conferences Podcast. Let's go.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Clashing Conferences Network NFC East podcast. This is the Merry Christmas edition. It's going to be Christmas coming up here in a few days, and not so sure we're doing an episode Christmas week. I don't know if we've nailed down the schedule on that to make a final decision, but just in case, this is the Christmas episode. Hope you guys and your families all have a wonderful Christmas and a Merry New Year coming up. In week 15 that we just got through here, there was some good Christmas for a lot of the NFC East, I think. Even with Chris's loss, I think that might be what you're rooting for now. So I don't think anybody's disappointed with how week 15 went. We had the Giants going down big to the Baltimore Ravens 14-35.
They covered that spread.
No, they did not.
No. The Ravens.
Oh, yeah, the Ravens did.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Big
okay,
spread.
I gotcha. We had the Philadelphia Eagles continuing their winning streak with a big one, 27-13 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Greg nailed that one when he said the Eagles were going to win by 13.
Thank you, Mike.
Chris very adamantly wanted to make sure I write that down.
Write
that down, Mike. Did you write that down?
Did you write the stats, Mike?
Congratulations, Greg.
Congratulations. Write the stats.
Greg called it.
Merry Christmas.
They're going to win by at least 13. That was a big alt spread by him, and they win by 14. So you get that. Washington gets a close one, 20-19 at New Orleans. Oh, I don't know, man. That's you gotta be closer than that. You got a tough one coming up next week. And Dallas getting a big win, covering that spread as dogs, 30-14 at Carolina. But
felt disrespected.
No signs of Jonathan Mingo. So do we have regression, Randy? There's not even listening to the box score.
He's a developing player. He's coming along. Just give him a couple more weeks.
Saving for the playoffs.
No, there's a lot of cool stuff happening with that. But anyway, yeah.
Okay.
Cool
and
stuff.
In the internal competition, we had single player sacks. Everybody predicted it. It went to Parsons. You guys all nailed that one. He gets 2 sacks. Rushing yards, single player, goes to Dwaddle. Predicted by Randy. Good job there. He did not pronounce the name right as he predicted it, but he did get the player correct at 149 yards. That's a big number. So good job by him. Team receptions. I don't know if anybody predicted the Eagles, Greg, but 290 yards put up by the Eagles receivers. That's a big number for them. So we get 1 point for the Eagles, 2 points for Dallas and Randy on the season. That gives Greg 18, Paul 13, Randy 12, Chris 7. Greg, you give us no reason to change anything. You're leading the competition. You still are getting wins. What you got, Randy?
Well, I thought maybe we could bring in some experts to help us with some of this stuff that's going on. So I don't know if you could bring on. I have our local Baltimore Ravens fan here. Wanted to bring him in. I know it's the best of the Washington area teams. Just spanked the piss out of the Giants. Looking to see a little insight.
By the way. Thank you.
Insight into that.
We had to.
Yeah. Insight. I should have brought him on after they beat Washington because they are the better of the two Washington teams. But
hey,
the Beltway battle.
Also, after we whooped on Dallas, you could have done that too.
Well, that
we don't want to talk about that.
We don't want to talk about that.
Oh yeah, you don't want to go into that, huh?
But no, so I brought in my local resident Ravens fan. I thought it would be a nice gift for you, Paul. As I know you're really struggling right now with knowing your team representing your area, I guess is what I'm saying. So I brought in a player from a team, a fan of a team from your area that can actually represent the Washington area for you. in the Super Bowl because it's very unlikely you're going to get there.
Paul loves Ravens fans.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
They're the most ignorant group I've ever seen. And
oh man,
Randy, that was the worst intro I've ever heard in my entire life.
Okay.
At no point did you have one coherent thought in there whatsoever.
We don't even have a name, Randy. What's going on?
Okay, all you said was a local fan.
This is Carrick. I work with him. Carrick, the guy in the green ugly sweater, is the Giants fan. The guy that's on Viagra in the middle.
I think the green ugly sweater is the Eagles fan.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. The guy with Viagra in the yellow is, of course, a Commanders fan. And then, of course, the guys you whooped up on last week, you can see there he's on my right. I don't know where he is to you, but.
Well, at least one guy out of the bunch I got to give the respect to. We can't say anything about the Eagles. I mean, they didn't beat us. We beat ourselves, penalties and Lamar's decision making. It was a rough game. The other two, I mean, hey, Washington's doing great this year for the first time, and I'm pretty young, so who knows how long. Giants, I'm just sorry. That was rough.
No, it was just the way it was supposed to go, man. You guys are the better team. I predicted you were my Super Bowl pick this year, and we don't have anything. I mean, we're tanking. So,
hopefully you get that number one pick, right?
Yes, one or two.
There you go.
Either one. I'll take either one.
And then they don't want to go to New York. Huh.
That's not a true statement. He never said that. He was out having to catch with neighbors the other night in the middle of the street.
It's all about what his dad wants, right?
Well, Dion said that. Dion said it was false news. It's he's not representing that. He can go. Bring him on. I'll take him.
So I have a question, and this is something I was hearing a lot about this week: league MVP, and the two candidates that are leaps and bounds as the two league MVP candidates this year is Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. So I guess this would be a great time to bring this up. Carrick, what do you think?
Well, it's tough. So if you look at the stats, Lamar's got Josh Allen in every category except for total wins and rushing touchdowns, right? Other than that, Lamar is balling out this year. I can't always agree with some of the decisions he makes, but leaps and bounds, he's better than last year and the year that he won it before that. Josh Allen, the last couple weeks, you can't argue with what he's been doing. The man's been amazing. 90 points, I think they put up the last 2 weeks when allowing 86 or something like that. That's just phenomenal. Being a Ravens fan, I hope Lamar gets it again, but I'd rather a Super Bowl this year over an MVP, to be honest with you.
So the one thing I heard is one of the big differences is Josh has no one around him. Josh is dragging that team across the playoffs in difference to Lamar Jackson, who you've got Mark Andrews, you got Zay Flowers, you got that.
Lamar doesn't exactly have an all-star cast of pass catchers.
I was going to say, name another receiver outside of Zay Flowers,
Bateman.
Okay, all right.
Aguilar plays well.
Hey, Aguilar this year, I'm giving that. He's been coming in clutch. He's not great, but he ain't bad either.
These are average guys. These are not stud wide receivers that you're naming out there.
Exactly, absolutely average
don't
guys.
belong in the same sentence,
dude. Nope. I don't know. I see Nelson Aguilar in some playoff games, and it seemed like he was a favorite target. It was who the heck is this guy? He just seemed like he was always coming out swinging hard.
I think Lamar could look a lot different as a passer if you gave him a bona fide number one wide receiver. He's never had one.
But hey, I'll give that too. I mean, outside of the trade for Amari Cooper, Josh Allen doesn't really have a number one either. Khalil Shakir's been doing great this year. I got him in fantasy. I love him. But yeah, it's been all Josh. You can't argue with that.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, so what we usually do here, I'll let you go ahead, Mike.
What about Saquon? Couldn't Saquon win the MVP?
I'm all for Saquon. I love Saquon. I wish he would win it.
If the NFL had outlawed the tush push, he probably would be a finalist right now. And I'm just being serious.
He's lost 9 touchdowns, I think, to
maybe 10.
I think it's more than that now.
Maybe 10.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's you have to put him up there if all of a sudden he's got 30 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But and if he even gets the record, I mean, I who knows what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks? I mean, we could be playing for that number 1 seed. I mean, there's 3 teams that are right there trying for it. Detroit lost 3/4 of their defense. I mean, and it's looking bad for Detroit.
And they
right
lost
now.
Montgomery.
Montgomery's out.
Yep.
So
Lost some tackles too.
Do you see Montgomery played like 6 snaps with a torn whatever it was, MCL or whatever it was? Played 6 snaps with it. Torn.
He's a tough guy, man.
He is, absolutely.
So that kind of changes the NFC a little bit, in my opinion.
So, Mike, you were about to hand it over to Sir Greg's a lot here.
The Mr. Leadoff hitter. He's seemingly going to be there for the rest of the season unless something goes wrong. What do you got for us, bub?
I mean, we got a tough game next week. Let's take us 1 week at a time. Yeah, it was a great week. It was awesome. You know, was nervous, obviously, about the game. I wasn't sure, you know, when Pickens was ruled out, you know, it kind of cleared the picture a little bit. They really didn't have any good passing threats. So they're going to run the ball. And our defense is nasty right now, and they're playing well. I think that was the one thing that I said we were at the game this weekend, and that was the one thing I said. They're flying. They are flying around and free. You know, our cornerbacks, our safeties, CJ is just flying. I can't believe how fast they are off the ball. And Carter is a menace. He is getting held literally every play. And during that punt, he just had enough of that stuff and just wailed that guy in the head. And dude almost lost his head. I felt bad for him. But like together as a team, you know, it was gratifying to see that. It's good to see that, you know, the passing attack is there when we need it. And we are going to need it when we come in the playoffs and we're coming across these teams that are trying to put up a lot of points.
Or when Saquon gets hurt.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not going to happen.
He got back.
So,
didn't he get banged up?
These guys do this every week, man. It's cool.
Didn't he get banged up a little bit last week?
He's a running back in the NFL. They're going to get banged up every week. Yeah. But, you know, I'm really excited about the defense. Obviously, our offensive line, to me, is the best in the league. And, you know, they did pass protect this week. And it's like, pick your poison. Do you want Jalen to throw for 300 and score 3 touchdowns? Or do you want Barkley to run for 150 and score 2 touchdowns?
That's Dwell's job.
So I'm really excited about it. But it was funny because we were sitting there at the tailgate and we're watching some of the first games, and Giants scored their first touchdown. And this guy's like, man, God, I hate the Giants. And I'm like, yeah, me too. And he's like, really? And I said, I'll tell you what, I've grown to hate the Giants more than Dallas now because I have this friend of mine for 30 some years, and he just is in your ear about everything. He's like, yeah, I kind of got a guy like that too. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. He's like, yeah, this guy's name's Chris Peterson. His name's Topher. And I was like, how the hell do you know Chris? And he looked at me and he was like, Greg,
oh yeah,
you're on the podcast. And I'm like, Tommy, my man. So I was at a tailgate with a fellow podcaster, Tommy. Shout out to Tommy for having a couple of drinks with me, you know, talking it up a little bit. Yes, we both have a hatred towards Chris and the Giants because of how annoying this guy is.
I'm doing my job there. That's good.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So Tommy says hi, and he's going to try to jump on the podcast with us.
We have to get him on sometime. Yeah.
So absolutely. Yeah, but it was great. It was great to be down there. Great with the atmosphere, and you know, watching those towels wave. You know, we had 2 turnovers early, and then all of a sudden we just started playing bully ball, and Jalen was finding AJ and Smitty, and I'm excited about where we're going. Now, next week, again, it's week to week, so I'm a little nervous next week. I didn't get to see much of the other games, so I don't really want to talk much on that. I saw Waddle had a big game. Didn't see any of the Commander stuff, and, you know, the Giants, you know, were
no one watched
Giants
that.
And got blown out, which is good.
Did you really?
I watched
pathetic.
it.
I watched it.
Sorry, the Baltimore Giants fan watched it.
I didn't go. I gave my tickets to a Ravens fan, a guy that actually follows the pod. I hooked him up, man. It was a friend of the show, a guy I known for some years, Steve Butler. He supports us. He was actually working at the or not working, but helping out at the Iron Leg where Lewis was. Okay. So yeah, I hooked him up with the tickets and he took his dad. I was happy about that. So
that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you crap for that.
Oh, yeah, thanks, sir.
Greg, I don't know about you being worried about next week. You guys are so much more talented than the Commanders.
I think on paper we are, but it's a league game, man, and
they always play tough.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it more in the second half. But speaking of the Commanders, Paul, why don't you tell us about how you squeaked it out against the Saints?
Squeaker.
Well, I mean, we've been getting lucky quite a few times this year. This one, we're lucky that we didn't get screwed, is what I would say. It shouldn't have been that close. That last.
I was going to say you guys should have covered the spread.
Well, sure, because that last the clock should have ran out. There was no reason for the
clock management problem.
Well, it wasn't clock management. It's the refs that just stopped the clock for no reason. Otherwise, the game would have been done. I mean, if you look at the passing numbers from Daniels, it was very good. It was just the yards per pass was very low. The ones that he missed were all long balls. And pretty much was flawless in the
Florida the second half. Yeah, big one.
But there was a couple of big misses between him and Terry that really would have been some game changers. Running game looked all right. I mean, as a whole, it didn't look too bad. We definitely should have put up more points against that team. I'm happy we got Marshawn Lattimore out there for the first time. The weird thing was he did so great. There wasn't he didn't have a single stat. So that's how good he was when he was out there.
Not even a target against him.
Not a single target against him. So that's exactly what I want. And that's not something we've had. Gosh, I don't even know. Did we even have, I don't even think D'Angelo Hall was even prime D'Angelo Hall when we had him years ago. So I can't even remember the last guy that somebody was afraid to throw to on our team. So I'm glad that he showed up and then that happened. I mean, the ending score was a little surprising to me. Thought we would have shown up a little bit better.
You're going to find that still Bingo was the better pickup than Lattimore.
No,
just give it time. Just give it time. Mingo was the pickup of the trade deadline.
Yeah, I think you may be right. The long-term return on investment may be better for Mingo. No. But overall, I was happy. I mean, again, it's another game that we squeaked out. I'm already happy with the season. You know, if we get a double-digit win, double-digit wins for this season, I'm going to be ecstatic. There's a good chance that happens. So it is going to be a tough matchup coming up. We have a couple of tough matchups. I mean, we got the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are playing the Cowboys again. They're not playing like the Cowgirls that they were in the middle of the season. So, not exactly a team I'm looking to face, but, two of our next 3 games are pretty tough teams. So, but I'm still looking just to get that 10th win. Overall, still happy. Again, I really want to see an injury-free season. And, I feel like Chris was like, I really need everything to work out perfectly for me to evaluate my team kind of thing. But, I think at the end of the year, after we'll be able to see how everything gelled. And I think I'm looking forward to the future.
You got a good shot to make the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the Rams. I think the Rams are the ones that are coming for us the most, or the closest right now.
So it looks
or the Cowboys.
The Rams are going to win their division.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. The Rams. Yeah. I think the Rams play Seattle yet. I think it's going to go Minnesota as the number 2. Minnesota, Detroit, and Green Bay taking 1, and the last one's probably going to be. I mean, I can't see it being anyone else in Washington unless. I mean, it would be very hard. You guys would have to lose that. We'd have to win out, and then I don't even know how tiebreakers are going to work on that.
Well, I mean,
there's a lot of other things that have to happen too.
Seattle and L.A. or wherever they are, Seattle and L.A. are kind of neck and neck now.
Hey,
now that
geographically speaking, they're in the West, Paul. Just so you know,
they play a lot of 4 o'clock games.
Yeah, they
figure it out.
I don't have their record.
Kind of happens. So,
well, it's 1 o'clock somewhere.
True that
story.
Well, Randy, you were the other win of the week. Tell us about how you guys took down the mighty Panthers. We've been talking a lot about how the Panthers. How the Panthers been competitive, and they were not competitive on Sunday.
Mike, I'm a little disjevelled or whatever the word is on
Jesus.
the idea that you didn't shut up, Paul.
Tips.
On the world that you didn't call out my awesome picks for last week. I was nearly perfect. And I
Yeah,
was
but
nearly
when you call a Nostradamus 3-team parlay and you only get 2 out of 3, that's still a losing ticket.
But I gave you a bonus
a
and I
losing
was
ticket.
right on. I gave you a bonus. And then what was the game? I was like Thursday night. I was like, this is a lock. What was that again? I'm trying to remember. I
The
texted
Rams.
you guys. The Rams. I'm like, dude, the
I
Rams are
think
gonna
we all took the Rams.
Sure. All I'm saying
No,
is
we
I had
did.
4 very good picks. And I had a lot of my internal competition. Shut up, Paul. Stop shaking your head. A lot of my internal
I was trying to help you.
You
Yeah, I
did.
know, it's
You
Paul-
were the
it's
only
Paul
one
shaking
who
his
got
head.
2 out of 3.
There we
Unfortunately,
go.
your homerism had you pick Dallas for all 3 categories, which is never going to happen. So, I mean, you're lucky you got
Hey.
your 2.
It wasn't that far off. The CD
wasn't.
Lamb was. I mean, I guess it was a little way. I think Daniels actually had more yardage too. But
Yeah.
all that being said, it was a really cool game to watch. Honestly, we should be on
You
a
should have just
4-game
led
winning
with
streak.
that and said that. Good Lord.
Thanks, Randy Hader. Listen, all I'm saying at the end of it, it was a really good game to watch. And across the board, we should be on a 4-game win streak right now. We lost to Cincinnati by a smaller amount than Paul's Viagra pill. It was just a smidgen. And the fact that we were the dogs to Carolina is unreal to me. But again, it seems so obvious, and I know those are the ones that often go the other way. But yeah, going to Carolina, I've been telling you guys all year our defense is incredible. You guys are like, oh, well, you're letting a lot of points. Yes, I honestly think they might be the best defense.
But
in the
now
league
you've
right
got
now.
now you just lost another one. You
Wow.
lost
The
Trayvon
best
Diggs.
defense
He's not
in the
even be
league.
back.
Wow.
He might not even be back till for week
Listen,
1.
Golly gee. Yo.
all I'm saying, look,
How you feeling this week?
again,
I mean, you got Tampa this week, right? You going to keep it rolling, or
I'm going to keep it rolling. But listen, what's really
That's
cool?
the most absurd thing.
What's
Baker's
really
going to
cool-
roll over you.
What's really cool is it's the first time in I don't know how
Stop
many years.
saying
the
cool.
Romo-
None of this is cool.
Okay,
The game wasn't a
Romo-
cool game to watch.
It was a
None of
cool
it.
game. I enjoyed the
It was
game.
a cool
Listen,
game.
Would you shut up? Listen, what I'm saying is
it was the
during the
Cowboys
whole-
and the Panthers?
the whole
It was
time.
not cool.
Listen, the Giants and the nobodies. I don't want to hear it.
And the
All-
nobodies are
Nobody's.
they're potentially like one of the favorites and to go to the Super Bowl, and they could have the MVP of the year.
You need to
I don't
untwist
even- I
those two
honestly
brain
don't even
cells.
remember.
You need to
Just
untwist
spit it
those two
out.
brain
Where's your
cells.
Say-
MVP, Randy? Exactly.
Thanks. I did hear CD Lamb's in the talks for CD without his starting quarterback.
They
Is
got a
number
ba-
3 in the league in receiving right now.
It seems like
And
every time
that's-
Cooper Rush comes in, they've turned into a better team. Didn't
Now,
he go
listen.
like 5-1 last year?
Listen.
Now all of a sudden, Paul said they're starting to play like the
Listen,
Cowboys again, not the
I
Cowgirls.
told
Cooper
Greg
Rush.
all year. I told
Maybe
Greg
they
all
should have
year.
paid him $60 million.
Yeah,
Oh
what's
my
this
God. I don't disagree. I've been
QB
saying it all
controversy
year.
next year or what?
Listen, so stop interrupting.
He's
All
got a
I'm
high
saying is-
IQ. He's got a high football IQ. I'll tell you that.
So, no, it's really cool to see the team winning off a defense in a run game. During the Romo years, that never happened. It was always on Romo. Dak has taken a lot on himself. And finally, I feel like, again, for the first time this year, or for the first time in years, we've developed a run game with a nobody running back that really, I don't think anybody
You
would have
ain't
said was
wrong
going to be I don't think anyone was going to say it was going to be a decent running back. Yeah, four turnovers, 6 sacks. Like, it was a great game. And again, we all talked about it. Carolina's playing good ball right now. Again, I really do think we could have beat Cincinnati 2 weeks ago. That was a dumb little mistake. And it's just like, I feel very optimistic. So I got a question for you guys. And Carrick, you too. A couple weeks ago, we asked the question. Which team is set up for long-term greatness better right now, the Giants or the Cowboys? And I want to re-ask you, after the past 5 weeks or 4 weeks since we asked that question, have any of you guys changed your mind on that?
Randy,
You all hands down said the
Dude,
Giants are set up
we
better.
got a ton of young players, and we're getting ready to get the number 1 or the number 2 pick in the NFL draft.
But you guys literally need to
Possibly
get
a
rid of
new
your
coach.
entire team.
No, we
You
don't
need
have to.
Yes, you
No,
do.
we don't. We
They're
got so many
horrible.
new young guys.
I mean,
our draft was really good last year. And the year before, it wasn't bad.
It doesn't look
now,
like it to me.
All we got to do is score on this quarterback, and we're going to be fine. It's going to be a big turnaround.
Since Eli
this has to
Manning,
happen.
so
You can't say that DJ was bad because the whole team was bad around you, but now you're saying that the quarterback's going to fix everything.
No. I'm saying we get a home run.
Mike's got a point. Either DJ is good and your team sucks, or DJ was bad because your team was so bad all around. What is it?
Yeah, who's the reason you lost all the games at the beginning of the year?
You're saying get rid of everybody. We're not going to be getting. We're going to add. We're going to add
coaches, owners, fan base. You guys should get rid of everyone.
That's very, very possible. We had another. Plane. We had another plane, man. Not a fan base. We're not
did
going
everyone
anywhere.
see the graphic last night when they showed DJ on the sideline last night?
I didn't see it.
What was weird? They have 5 quarterbacks.
Really?
The Vikings have 5 quarterbacks. Why do you have 5 quarterbacks?
How many of them are on the practice squad, including DJ?
I don't know. It didn't say, but it had 5 on there.
I think
it's rare anybody puts more than 2 on the active roster anymore.
Yeah, I mean, one of them was JJ, so I mean, he's out for the season. But he had him, DJ, Nick Mullins, Sam Darnold.
That don't count, Paul.
And so I don't know.
Mullins counts.
They never said who was on the practice squad, and it wasn't. They just said, here's the 5 quarterbacks that the Vikings had. Nobody said anything about where they were.
Got it.
So
there was no talk about that. They just showed DJ in his sweatshirt looking cross-eyed.
So
I'm confused, Randy. Like
they can't help but bring him up.
What part of Dallas beating the Giants, Carolina, and the Commanders make you think that you've got a bright future?
Or the best defense in the NFL.
Because again, we're doing
or the best defense in the NFL.
I do think that. I mean, again,
I think that's based on what?
Let me pull a Chris out. Top three. Again, you got to look at what they've been doing to.
I mean, I'm glad you're supporting your team and all.
With the bad teams.
No, but look what they're doing to teams without an offense. Like most of those games,
you scored 6 points against the Eagles. 6.
Sure. Again, that's what I'm saying. You guys had the ball the whole time, running up and down the field. We couldn't even.
You just said your defense was good.
You just said you had the best defense in the NFL. Why would they run up down the field?
My point is, if you got the ball the whole time and we can't even get a first down, you're going to score points. But Jalen Hurts looked pressured in that game.
Look, I got a question for Karen.
He just went all the way down the field.
I have a question. Karen Derrick. When you and Randy are at work together,
please answer this.
How often does he walk into the field without his helmet on?
All the time.
All right.
All the time.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
It's literally just like I think it's just like Elmer's like slime up there in between his ears, or like a cranberry sauce Slurpee in between there. It's just ridiculous.
He absolutely contradicted himself.
Yep, shoes untied, pants unbuttoned. The man's never.
I'm calling OSHA on you.
There's no OSHA violation for shoes untied.
Listen, Randy,
it is when you bend over and you're showing everybody your plumber's crack.
Well, that's a little more than a plumber's crack. The talk on your Giants Cowboys thing, I'm just saying the man's got it right. The Giants got a lot of young pieces. You guys, you overpaid a quarterback.
Sure.
Can you afford Micah? You're about to lose him.
We'll see.
And,
the Eagles,
and your big issue.
Probably
your
go to
owner.
Philly.
You guys are never going to do nothing with Jerry Jones calling the shots, man. You got to get that guy out of there before anybody can say
I'm not bringing you back on this podcast.
The Cowboys got a better future than the Giants, man. I'm sorry.
Eric, I can tell you right now, you are welcome on this podcast.
This went about as well as that Steelers guy jiggle hands about DJ.
And by the way, Randy, Fox Sports has the Eagles ranked as the #1 statistical defense.
I get it.
And the Cowboys are 26th, by the way.
Wow. Again, I get it.
And by the way, that's worse than the Giants that are 21st.
I know what he's saying. What he's trying to say is what I said last
before
year.
Sunday, it would have been worse than that. I guarantee.
And what he's trying to say is he's got one great defensive line.
What he's saying is the offense isn't moving the ball, so their defense is on the field a lot.
That's exactly right.
I know what he's saying, but they're not the number one defense in the NFL. That's crazy.
I'm probably exaggerating, but I think they are one of the most underrated defenses, probably the most underrated defense in the NFL.
Again, we had to remind you that you lost one of your best players last week because you didn't realize that.
And we look fine without him.
And you lost another one for the season too.
Yeah, but he missed half the season early on this year.
Guess it doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
So now you have Parsons running it all by himself.
No, I mean we got Bland, we got Lawrence, we got stars everywhere, and they wear them on their shirts too.
Oh my gosh! Stop! You're so down.
Wowzers.
Chris, you want to close this out? You talked a little bit about your young guys, but you still on this quest for the number one pick.
Yeah, I'm on the quest for that. You guys brought up Dion. Dion tweeted about that. He said that was a false statement. Don't be putting false things out. I didn't say them things about my son. My son will go whoever drafts him. Then him and Neighbors had a catch. So yeah, it's cool. You said about the number one or the number two pick. I don't care which one we get. I just want some excitement. So I want to
be relevant.
I would take Sanders, all the bad stuff. We got planes flying over our stadium. Last week it was, this is a dumpster fire. This week it was, we're not going to stop till you fire everybody. I'm a big Talking Giants fan. I do want to give them a plug real quick. Bobby got a phone call at 8:30 Sunday night from the New York Giants PR guy, and he got on him about his video about firing Shane and about firing. And Bobby has a relationship with Pat Hannon. He already talked to him, had a beer with him, and he was like, "Look, you guys." He basically gave us rants. If you guys listen to it for yourselves, check out the first 5 minutes of Talking Giants. It was a great rant. You guys will love it about how they're hurting his career for sucking because you don't have nothing to talk about. So yeah, it was a really good take. You guys should check it out. But yeah, Mike, we're on pace for, I don't see us getting another win. I mean, we play the Birds, we play the Colts. We have another one in there.
You got a chance against the Colts. Everybody's got a chance against the Colts.
Yeah, the Colts. Exactly.
It'll be a tough 4:00 game for you.
Richardson is completing 46% of his passes this year.
Ouch. I don't know. Is Boyle going to be our quarterback? I mean, I know maybe Drew Lock will be back now. Tommy gets hurt all the time. He's just too small. He can't. Yeah, he's just not big enough for the NFL, man. He plays his heart out. He got the moxie and the fire. He just can't.
Besides that guy on the Niners, who doesn't play their heart out?
I can think of one Bear corner.
Hey, that was one play.
Dude, ever since that one play, your team has absolutely tanked.
Yeah.
I felt bad.
We were looking pretty good at that point of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're on our quest for one or two. Neighbors got a tutty. Yes, I'm excited for what's going to happen in the offseason. So
you should be.
I'm sure we'll hear all about it.
We will. We'll have a draft episode maybe, and then I'll get a quarterback, and I'm going to tell you guys how good he's going to be, and he's going to be better than Hurts and all that.
Well aware.
I got a lot to look forward to next
Never
year.
hold a candle to Daniel Jones, though, probably.
Just remember, you once said Daniel Jones was a better quarterback than every one of our quarterbacks.
I still have hope. They laugh at me about this. I still
have hope, but you don't have a lot of credibility.
I have some hope.
Zero credibility.
The Vikings are kicking butt right now. They're in the playoffs. They got to bring DJ in to rescue him.
And then they lose every game.
And they whoop the Birds. That's my dream. That's my dream for the season.
Hey, I'd like to see that too, but
that would be amazing.
It would be fantastic. It would be a great script. You say the NFL scripted, there's the script, and then we get a new quarterback next year, and he might be the next best thing. So I'll take it.
There you go.
That's the dumb shit to take us into the half.
Yep. We're going to get out of here. We'll take a break.
Christmas
Eric,
present.
thanks for coming on with us, man.
Very nice to meet you guys.
Different perspective. Appreciate it, everybody. We'll be back soon. Check out the Fa La 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 special content from Topher and our production manager, Steven, in the halftime break. We'll be back soon.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening. Just a few quick reminders for everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. And check out our fellow podcaster, Jim Montgomery, with This Day in Philly Sports History. Thank you.
All right, welcome back to Clashing Conferences. We're going to start looking forward here to Week 16. I can't believe we're almost to the end of the regular season. We got fantasy playoffs wrapping up. We're going to have real playoffs in less than a month, and before you know it, we're going to be
What's that?
6 or 7 or 8 months without any football at all. It's like the worst time of my life. So let's not think about that. Let's get through the end
I
of
haven't had football for the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, I
get
was
through
going to
the
say,
end of this in a good one.
It's funny you said what's playoffs. I would understand you asking that question.
That was the point, Randy. It was
Tell
supposed to be
them
funny.
what's a playoff win?
Yeah, you know what that is, Randy?
Yeah, we had one.
1998.
No, there was a couple of years ago we had one.
All right,
He did have one.
Same year the Giants did.
I'll give you the matchups first, and then we'll get 3 wheel spins here. But 3 games this week. We got a big interdivision game, a big interdivision game. Philadelphia -3.5 at the Washington Commanders. We're going to find out if the Commanders are for real and ready for the playoffs or not. The Giants are +9.5 going all the way down I-95 to the Atlanta Falcons. And we got Dallas at home +3.5 against the Tampa Bay Bucks. That should be a pretty decent game as well, possibly. So that's our 3 matchups this week. I hope so. Let's get 3 wheel categories here. Let's see if we get some QBR controversy at least one more time to end the year if we're lucky.
That'd be great.
A little team win.
I'm not getting
team
that.
Total team win. Okay. I like it. Team win just gave the matchups out. Let's get a second category here. Team win again. I think we're going to spin that one more time. In the meantime, check out the clashingconferences.com. All you got to do is go there to join Patreon. All you got to do is join Patreon, become part of the network. You get all the benefits. Woo! You get the QBR team total, my favorite category, not just single player, but team total. If you get a backup in there that qualifies, we average them out.
That screwed somebody every single time, didn't it?
It does. It's been fun.
I might actually win that category.
Our last one is going to be, and this is going to be a team total, turnover plus or minus, team total plus or minus offensive and defensive turnovers. So we got the team win, we got the plus or minus turnovers, and what was our third one there?
QBR.
Oh my God, how did I forget?
How'd you forget your favorite?
All right, who closed out last half? Chris did. So why don't you lead us off, bud?
I closed out. All right.
Thanks, Chris. That was great. You did a good job.
Yeah, I mean, I got to do this. You guys want me to do it for real, or do you want me to just do it like what I hope for?
However you want to do it.
We're gonna go for what I hope for. We'll mix it up a little bit here. So Washington Eagles. That's by far the best game on our little schedule here.
If you're wrong, I'm gonna give you the same level of crap next week.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, I'm just having fun. I only have a couple more weeks of this, and
wow.
Then it's on to the Knicks. So
it's been on to the Knicks. You've been wearing us out.
I want the Washington Commanders to win the game, and -3.5. I think Washington wins by 7. I think Washington wins that game by 7. They're going to bounce back next week. They are ready for the playoffs. They're not going to win the division. Eagles are going to win the division, but I'm waiting for the Eagles to fall off. I still don't buy that everything's perfectly fine. I think just happened to work out this week. They got the ball down the field. They made some catches.
Just so happened
Greg just shaking his head because that level of hate is never going to die down.
Well, I will say that Najee Harris turnover.
That was big. That was huge. That was huge. But
like,
the Eagles, look, I ain't knocking the Eagles. Greg's been calling it. They're playing well. The defense is playing well. I thought that was going to be the game that they tried too hard to get the ball down the field. It worked out for them. I need them to lose, man. I need them to lose a game. It's sickening every single week listening to him, starting off and getting his wins. I can't wait till they fall apart. Barkley's he's slowing down, buddy. He limped around last week. It's coming. Giants Atlanta. I don't want the Giants to win. I think they could cover. I don't even know what quarterback's playing this week. I don't care. I don't care who they fire. I don't care what they do. All I want to do is what Greg said, be relevant next year. Lose this game.
So good, though.
Lose this game, man. Just lose this game, and let's get the number 1 pick. Giants win. They might cover. It don't matter. Dallas, Tampa. I think Dallas is going to mess around and win the game. I think they're trying, man. I think as Cooper is a game manager, they are a better football team. It seems like they go out and they win games with Cooper Rush. Go out there and get the ball to CeeDee Lamb, get your number one defense in the NFL going, and get the sun shining in Baker's eyes. Maybe you'll get a win. I think Dallas is going to win. So they'll get a point for team win. Washington get a point for team win. QBR, we might get it because we got the worst quarterback in the division. So let's just say that. Giants
team
get that.
average, so that committee might get it done.
Dude, they might jump in there and Locke might throw a couple nice plays. Yeah, who knows?
No.
And then plus or minus, we're definitely not going to get it. I'm going to give that to Washington. Washington is going to need some a good defensive performance to win the game. Washington is going to win the plus or minus.
So you're saying the turnover Hurts is back or what?
Yeah, he's going to try to force the ball to AJ, and AJ got a little taste of it last week. He's going to want the ball back.
Lattimore's going to say no.
What's that?
Lattimore's going to say no.
Lattimore's going to say no. Why would he? Why?
Basically, you think Lattimore is going to be a good defender, is what he's.
I'm saying Lattimore's. He said he's going to try and force the ball to AJ. I said Lattimore's going to say no.
No, it just Hurts is just not. Yeah, it's not all fixed there yet, guys. It's not. Yep. It's not all candy canes and apple pie and all that good stuff for Christmas. It's
25 for 32, 300 yards, and
it's his first big game in 3 weeks.
Because we didn't need him to do anything.
All right.
They're bringing people in the box. We throw the ball. They don't bring the safety down. Guess what? We're running the ball.
All right.
That's how football works. You should know that.
I understand, buddy. I'm just waiting for I'm waiting for the collapse. It's coming.
Well, like he had a Kirk Cousins moment there in the press conference when he's like, "Is that what y'all wanted to see?"
I loved it. I loved every second of it. It made me laugh. And
Greg, I'm not trashing your team. I'm just waiting for the collapse. I have not been talking bad. I've been giving them.
You've been talking bad this entire season of podcasts.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like you don't realize it.
It's my job.
I know, but then you come on here and you're like, I haven't been talking bad.
Hey, I think the last 3 weeks I said, I hate to say it, they're looking at, I'm impressed. That was a good win last week. Now they lost their best receiver. I mean, that did help, but yeah, it's coming. The collapse is coming, buddy.
All right, we'll see. Randy, why don't you go next? We'll save these head-to-head matchup guys for the end.
So I do think that if we're talking turnovers, I'm going to go internal. Turnovers, I think Dallas continues what they did last week. I think that there are some fumbling people in Tampa Bay. I think that Baker can throw some picks. I do. I think Baker can throw some picks. I think that Dallas has the defense, one of the best in the NFL. I told you guys before, to take advantage of this.
Their secondary is falling apart.
By the way, we blitzed on 10% of plays last week and had the highest average pressure on any quarterback last week. I know it's against Bryce Young, but again, I'm telling you that defense is good. So
Randy, I got a question for you real quick before you go on any further. Mm-hmm. So when I look at spreads and look at total numbers, one thing rings out to me, and it's not great defense because you have the highest over-under of the week this week. That's the highest over-under on the card. Mm-hmm. You realize that, right?
No, I didn't. I don't even know what the over-under is there.
They're expecting a lot of points.
Which means not great defense
on either side, unless they think you're getting blown
out. Turns out that Vegas got it wrong last week when they had Carolina favored Dallas dogs.
I'm just saying.
Hey, I usually agree with Vegas. I think they're off on Dallas right now.
Okay, fair.
But again,
that's fair.
Okay, that's so Greg, I've critiqued you guys all year on the fact that I said you guys need you need game management play out of your quarterback, and you need to run the ball. I've said it. You've said that. We've all said that for 2 years. Turns out that's true, not only in Philadelphia, but in Dallas. And again, part of what's happening right now, Cooper is not playing great football. It's not at all. He's not even playing, I would say, above average football. He had like 200 yards last week. But they're running the ball successfully, playing game management football and playing
game management football.
Incredible defense.
Again, I'm going to go back to the point that I made earlier. You don't think that has anything to do with the fact that you're playing the Panthers and the Giants.
Again, we almost beat Cincinnati, who I think is probably one of the bigger underrated teams.
Carolina's up and coming. Carolina.
Paul, Greg, I don't think that we're going to compete with Detroit or even the Eagles right now. I think we can play decent. I don't think we're that good. But for where I was sitting 4 weeks ago with very little hope,
Fair.
I feel like they're, I remember looking at teams as we were tanking on week 6, 7, and 8, saying, man, it's so fun to see a team that's overachieving. And I finally feel like Dallas is that team that is, I don't even want to say overachieving, but things are clicking and they're working. And that is what's cool to watch with Dallas is like, I feel like every year Dallas starts out hot. And then every year we watch some team who comes out of nowhere and is just incredible. Last year it was Green Bay. They're just good and they beat us. This year we could be that team. I don't think we're going to make the playoffs. I think it's even if Washington loses out, there's still other ways that we could not make the playoffs. That is such a far. I mean, again, I know there's theoretically an option. I think
6
we're at
wins,
6
Chris.
wins. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think the Rams and them are tied at 8 and 6, but Rams are winning the division, so you got to worry about Seattle.
Yes, and they play each other too, but I just don't see it happening. But all that being said is I love. Okay, so we're going through the internals. I do want to finish this out. I love
his optimism. Last year they were the first best team in the division, and he thought they sucked.
Optimism is based off of last year towards the end of the year. Yeah, we had some good wins, but I feel like, again, are we making the playoffs? Probably not. I just feel better about the team coming together without Dak, who honestly, I've said it all year. We overpaid him. And you guys are saying it again. I'm the number one person saying that, but it's good to see a backup quarterback that's doing just as good, if not better than Dak. I think it goes to show again,
2 years
you
in a row.
don't pay one player a third of your salary cap. It's just stupid. And if it doesn't stop somewhere, I mean, Brock Purdy's coming up. What's he going to get? At some point, some team is going to have to let a good quarterback go. And I would applaud that. I would love to see it. And that wasn't DJ. But to finish up on this, I want to pick on the.
I was going to say something. You beat me to it.
I want to pick on our win losses. Okay, win losses. I'm going to take the Eagles. I just do not think that the Commanders have what it takes to beat the Eagles. As hard as it is to say, the Eagles are playing good all around. It could be a game, but I just don't. There's so much talent in Philadelphia right now. You can hope, but there's so much talent in Philadelphia, and it's all
tis
clicking
the season,
right
baby.
It is. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad. Giants, I don't know. I don't know if I think you're right. They don't win another game. The QBR,
good.
I'm gonna go with my boy Cooper. You never know. I mean, again, it's
you do never know with QBR. So that's the best part.
That's the best part of the whole.
So listen, I was looking at the QBR stats for last week because I wasn't sure if QBR was in our thing. And it's so I don't even, I mean, I think Jalen won it and he had the best. He had the highest. I think it was like, but I don't even understand the numbers.
He had a hell of a day.
Awful.
Yeah.
He did. But like Daniel's numbers were like 55 or something. It just seems really low. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I guess I made the picks already when I picked the internal competition, but
okay. Paul, what do you got for us in your head-to-head matchup with the Eagles? You guys going to prove yourselves here?
I think it's going to be a tough one for sure. When we met the last time, we were in the game the whole time, leading for a lot of it, actually. We were kind of on a high, and I wouldn't say they were on a low, but they were just kind of flatlined. It wasn't like, I guess it was towards the beginning of this winning streak, so it was pretty fresh. So now that was in Philly that happened. In this one, I don't think there's much of a home field advantage in Washington. I think there's going to be quite a few Philly fans there, so I don't think that's going to be all that favorable. So I don't think that advantage is going to help in any way. I mean, if going with my head, I probably would say that the Eagles pull this one out. I do think that Jaden Daniels will get the QBR stat. I think actually Dallas's defense will get the turnover margin. Both what Randy and Chris said about Baker and some of those players out there. I mean, I think they're very prone. And you get Baker to throw one interception, he's going to throw another. He's just like Brett Favre. He's going to be like, hey, watch me do it again. Kind of mentality out there. So it's not going to stop him from slinging it. Giants, I do not think that they're going to win for sure. What's the other competition stat?
Team wins.
Win. Yeah, win. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get that one. I would love to, and it would be a great, like moral victory, as well as one on paper as well. I think we'd be riding pretty high towards the end of the year for sure. I would love to have a win going in a couple of weeks to play the Cowboys, but we'll see what happens. It's going to be a tough game, probably our toughest game and most scrutinized game this year, I think. Also,
you didn't pick the Cowboys game, Paul.
I think, yeah. I mean, damn it, I'm not waffling whatsoever. I'm just wondering if I need to go with reverse psychology. Obviously, there's nothing I want more than the Cowboys to lose. But do I really think that they're going to lose? I have no idea how they keep winning these games.
Cooper Rush and Mingo.
Take them +3.5. You get the best of both worlds if they can lose by 3 or less.
I'll take that. That sounds like a good bet to me. That's why I like it.
Mike.
Waffle it.
There it is.
Waffle it.
Yeah, I will absolutely waffle at that one.
You guys are some waffle eating sons of guns. I love
loves the Waffle House.
That he does. Hey, I'm gonna go taking the Birds -3.5 down in Washington. I think that 10 straight. We're playing good. We're clicking. It's a conference game, and it's going to be probably half Eagles fans, half Washington fans.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, it's going to be crazy down there.
Oh, I forgot to mention Anthony's got a ticket to go. I don't think he's going to be able to go though.
Why wouldn't there be more Washington fans? I mean, it ain't like Washington's not in this running. Like, why wouldn't they be supporting their team?
Philly fans have a way of finding a damn ticket.
Travel.
They have a way of finding a ticket. Even if there was just a big blast that went out and says, "Don't sell your tickets to Eagles fans," they're going to find them. They're going to find them. They're like,
I mean, Washington's one of the biggest franchises in the U.S. right now.
It takes us less than an hour and a half, 2 hours to get there.
Yeah, I get that. So and if they stunk and they had our record, I get that. Like, that's why I gave my tickets to a Ravens. Like, I'm mad at what I'm watching and the performance they're putting out there. That's why Giants fans ain't going. Washington fans should be going and supporting their team. Why are they not? Why is there going to be that many Eagles fans there? I just don't get that.
I mean, even when you think about it, even with the Eagles winning 9 straight and being home against Pittsburgh, after our first turnovers early in the game, there were a lot of yellow towels being waved. There was. Pittsburgh travels. They do well. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think it's going to be, even when the Nationals, the Phillies were hot, we would go down to the National Stadium and play, and it was half Phillies fans.
Should be more than half.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I'm going to take Atlanta with the win, minus the 9.5, and I'm going to take Tampa Bay minus 3.5 at Dallas. I think that Tampa's hot right now. Obviously, I hate Dallas, but I don't think their defense is as good as Randy thinks. I think they played Carolina and the Giants. Their loss against Cincinnati. I think Tampa Bay is 5-2 on the road this year. I think Dallas has only won 1 game at home this year. And I think Jerry Jones is going to talk about eating more raccoons like he did today. Don't know if you heard of it. Take a listen to it. It's actually pretty funny.
Jerry Jones. I know that. I know for the player who was the player that was eating raccoons? Player for the Panthers.
That was
Xavier Leggett.
Yeah,
that was a good one too.
So, okay.
But Jerry today, I guess, was on his radio station, and he was like,
"Oh, he did it also.
Raccoons like a delicacy. Me and my mama, we didn't fight over the brains like my sister and my daddy did." And I'm like, "What? Now we're eating raccoon brains? Great, awesome. Listen, it's a great listen." Internal competition, Eagles with the win. QBR, I gotta take Jalen after last week. And it's we're rolling the dice here. Turnover battle. I can't take Dallas. Most likely that's who's going to win, but I'm going to take the Eagles on this. I think we're going to bring some pressure and try to shake Daniels up a little bit and try to make a move and try to force some turnovers. So Yeah, I'm really excited. I find it funny though, even some Giants fans, shout out to Mr. Wampler, traveling to Atlanta to go to this game with his son.
Just the one he's taking his son to.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what a horrible game. Maybe Penix will get in the game. Who knows? Maybe you'll see something good.
They're not sitting all that money.
Yeah, that's going across the score right now on ESPN is they're waffling about who's going to be the quarterback this week down in Atlanta.
Maybe they are going to sit all that money.
Oh, and I have one thing before we leave. It's unrelated to NFC East, and it's not Bears related. How in the Magic Johnson was Patrick Mahomes a full participant in practice today with a high ankle sprain 2 days ago?
Yeah, I'm sure he
says
your definition of full participant and their definition of full participant, I bet we're probably different.
Okay.
Yeah, he's hiding it. I bet he doesn't play. I don't think he's going to play this weekend.
So, if you guys hear about the actual big news of the week,
that
is it Santa?
Mike in fantasy
Dallas has won their Super Bowl again this year. Any ideas? Dallas again.
Is it that time for that dumb shit?
10 years in a row is the most valuable sports franchise in America. I just want to say,
congratulations.
All of as terrible as we are, and somehow we still have the biggest fan base and most loyal, the biggest franchise in the world, Dallas Cowboys.
And what do you get for that as a fan?
What do I get? I a lot of really good people
30 years
around
of
the world. A lot of good people around the world that all think just like me.
Yeah. You'll go in hiding in a couple weeks and we won't hear from you until probably August. And then you'll come out.
Go to hiding.
Like, we're going to be good. We're going to be good.
When they're throwing the ball around in California and at their training camp, getting all the coverage.
Well, before we go, that is officially the dumb shit, I think.
Thanks, Randy. We needed that.
Before we go, let's talk a little Christmas for a second. I want to say I completely forgot until we started this episode tonight, but I was supposed to give you guys some homework. The producer had asked us to gather and find a fictional gift for the other crew that's running a podcast on the network right now.
Ooh,
and come up with something that we were going to give to them for Christmas. And my original thought process was I wanted to give them this fake trophy. The big trophy I was imagining had a bunch of our logo, dumb shit logo stickers on it. Like says, there's that dumb shit again, for them having the best podcast ever a couple weeks ago when there was that talk about how they were better than us. So that's what I wanted to give them for Christmas. I don't know if you guys have fictional gifts to give to each other. I would love to give Chris a quarterback for Christmas.
Thanks, Mike.
Randy, I'd love to give you a free haircut from Sparrow Hair Studios for Christmas. You guys got
Randy,
anything you want to give out?
Fox.
You want to give out for Christmas or any Christmas thoughts before we go here?
I'd like to give I'd like to give Paul an Atlas.
What?
An Atlas.
Hooked on Phonics works for Randy.
Well, could be. Greg, I'd like to give you a bomb to drop on that frickin' city when you guys win the next thing. You guys destroy that city every time you win something. I just want to give one of your fans a bomb because you'll probably put it off and wipe the damn city off the face of the earth.
You do realize we're having drone attacks here on the East Coast. This is not.
Oh, they're not drone attacks.
It's not a laughing matter.
Too soon, Randy. Too soon.
We had bomb-sniffing dogs at the stadium Sunday.
Oh, my gosh.
Randy, I hope you get a deer in your crosshairs for the first time ever.
For this year, Paul.
You still haven't gotten a deer yet.
For this year.
Okay.
You got 4 this year. All right.
My son got 1. I got 3. My son got 1. I got 3.
Well, can I get some deer jerky for Christmas or something?
I got a lot of it. I'll give you deer jerky, and I'll second you, Mike. I'll also give you a quarterback.
Oh.
I'll give you Eli Manning in his prime.
So only 3 Pro Bowls out of 10 years. Great.
Yeah. That's first ballot Hall of Famer.
Gave me 2 Super Bowls. He gave me 2 Super Bowls. You got 2 Super Bowl MVPs.
All
You
right.
got more
Good
Super
job,
Bowl
guys. We'll talk to
MVPs
you guys
than
later.
your
I think
entire
that's
All right,
officially
franchise
the
has
dumb
championships.
shit.
Sign
You
it
guys have a
Hold
Merry
on.
Christmas.
We got to start
Hey.
it up. Feliz Navidad, people.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
See y'all
Merry
soon.
Grinchmas.
Go check out the Christmas song on YouTube.
La 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 la.
La la la.
This the season to be jolly. La 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 la.
Hey!
Randy just said, oh, golly.
Golly gee, guys.
Golly, guys. Paul is mad at all, like usual.
DJ's not a bum.
And Greg thinks Topher Pete's delusional. La 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 la.
Greg's a hater. Hey, Randy. Are they still them boys?
If you're new to this.